The waves are calling, the stars align. Raise the colors high tonight. The sea is ours to claim. From the depths where Poseidon reigns, through thunder, wind, and driving rain, a queen ascends from myth and tide, with destiny upon her side. Horizons, sirens sing, ancient legends awakening. Across the seas her banner flies, beneath the ever-watchful skies. Hear the oceans roar her name, hear the storm winds fan the flame. Every harbor, every shore knows the queen forevermore. All hail the pirate queen, La Cole, ruler of the restless soul. Through the darkness, through the foam, every sea becomes her home. All hail the pirate queen, La Cole, fearless heart and heart of gold. Guided by the gods above, bound by courage, forged by love. Past the cliffs of marble kings, past where ancient eagle wings circle over treasure lost. She sails onward, counting no cost. The trident rises from the sea, a blessing for her destiny. The stars of Olympus brightly glow, lighting every path she'll know.
Raise the sails, raise them higher, feed the storm and feed the fire. Raise the sails, hear the call.
The pirate queen will conquer all. All hail the pirate queen, La Cole, master of the tides that roll. Every legend yet untold lives within her heart so bold. All hail the pirate queen, La Cole, queen of silver, sea, and gold. From Olympus to the deep, their eternal watch she'll keep. The sea remembers, the gods approve. The pirate queen, La Cole, sails on.
Alright, guys. Themes have gotten a lot more stronger, as you can see. If I can get out of here. Stop it. We're going, which I think we already passed that beforehand, but evidently the way this is talking is going to get even deeper. Because we're in Arc 4 now. We literally just went into it last night. Sexual themes and intense disturbing scenes are going to be extra strong, but I do have the censors on. Evidently, bullying and harassment might blow up a bit more, and bigoted comments about gender and drugging. So I have all those warnings even in my tags. So hopefully that will cover everything. Not click on there. But I hope everyone's having a good day today. Of course, my bitrate went down. It always goes down. I ain't worried about it. Oh, that's why we got Gidget. Okay. That makes a lot more sense. Coffee with Gidget. It's about half full. A couple of people in line. A couple of people seated at tables. Feeling of strange nostalgia washes over me as I stand in the doorway. But the sight of Gidget's hair glinting beneath the hanging bulbs snaps me out of it before I can fully succumb into my memories. I meander over to where she's seated at one of the small tables towards the back. Hi, AJ, welcome in. We literally just started. She has her laptop out and she is typing away. So intense she doesn't even notice me at first. Say something witty? Witty? When have I ever been known to be witty? I'm the type of person that gets burnt by others being witty. I look from her to the laptop, then back to her, then finally, hacking into CIA, are we? She jerks back, fingers poised over the keyboard, but smiles when her gaze falls on me. You're here. That was fast. I pull up the chair opposite of hers and plant myself down on the vinyl. The chair squeaks loudly. Well, you know me, I say, trying to mask my embarrassment. Cat-like reflexes and all that. She laughs. A cat on the legs of its the cat on the last a cat on its last legs of its life, maybe. I blink, glance around, taking the patrons, taking Gidget, looking at me from across the table, the nearly empty coffee mug next to her laptop. My neck feels sweaty. You, been here long? A little over an hour, I think. Wanted some peace and quiet to get this finished up without my parents looking over my shoulder. Couldn't take off yet since my dad wants me to help him grab some things out of the attic later this afternoon. Oh? What are you working on? She glances down, then away, smiles sheepishly. Just, it's a little something. It's nothing, though. Let me see. I tap the edge of the laptop screen. Her cheeks go pink. It's a stupid website. I thought it might help me look more professional to agents. I see her fingers curl, but she ultimately slides the screen around so I can see. I start clicking through. It's well done. Really well done. The layout is sharp and clean. Some nice scrolling parallax effects in the background. An inlaid carousel of images. When I click through the links of her project page, each one pops up a little card with more info and pictures. She's even got the makings of a login option for repeat bookings. This is nice. I muse, my finger clicking away as I navigate the various links. What'd you use? React? Yeah, I switched over from Angular and I haven't looked back. A laugh. Thanks though. It's not done yet. There's some parts of it I don't really like. She watches me for a moment, then her brows arch. Oh, since you're here, would you mind looking at something? She scoots her chair over with a couple of ear-wrenching squeaks so she can see the screen. I wanted to set up a little chat window in the corner, right? Can double as an FAQ, and also if they just want to leave a quick inquiry, you know. And so I was trying to get the database set up on Firebase, but for the life of me, I haven't been able to get the API to connect. She grabs my hand and it's still holding the mouse and clicks back to VS Code. The touch startles me for a moment, but my gaze jumps down to her fingers over mine, to the way they sit softly atop the back of my hand, to the way her middle finger arches as she scrolls with the wheel. My cheeks grow warm, but I turn my gaze back to the screen all the same, Gidget now pointing at the section on the code. I realize she's been talking and I haven't even been listening. Wait, where? I say with a blink. Here, see? I've got the IPA key here in the config variable, but for some reason it's giving me an error when I actually run it and try to save the state here. She taps the screen. Ah. My gaze flicks between the lines of code. I haven't used Firebase in a while. I'll need to get my bearings here for a sec. Of course, right. She pulls her hand away, sticking them to her lap. Then sucks her top lip in between her teeth. Her eyes wide and blinking like some kind of spooked owl. It's the same look she used to give me all the time back when we spent hours after school in the computer lab trying to figure out some piece of code or another. Usually when she'd broken something. And oftentimes on purpose. The sight of it stops me for a second, and I just look at her. What? I stifle a laugh. The smile all the same, my brow arching in amusement interest. Nothing. What? Just you? What's that supposed to mean? I whistle innocently and begin clicking away noisily at the keys. Iggy Maxwell. That is my name. I scroll up a few lines, looking at the tall tale signs of Gidget's handiwork. And I find it in the string of garbled numbers and letters making up the API key. 199Y. Completely in Swiss. To everyone but me. My grin widens. But I hide it under my hand with a cough. Yeah, I see what's going on here. This code is infected. Very infected. Gidget bites down on her bottom lip as an attempt to contain her laughter. Oh no, Doctor, whatever could be wrong? Oops. She brings her hands up to her cheeks in Fox error. Nasty little bug has wormed its way into the mainframe. We need to eliminate it pro haste. Ready to your weapons, men. I select the 199Y on the screen. Aye, aye, sir. Gidget points her index finger skyward and twists her fist against it as though cocking a gun. I do the same, then we cross our hands above the keyboard, forming an X with our fingers. And fire. I slap my finger down on the delete key as Gidget hits the backspace. The 199Y disappears. I pause a second, letting the full weight of our glorious victory settle around us. And we're clear. The Iggy bug has been deleted. Gidget couldn't hold it in anymore. She curls forward in a fit of laughter, tears glinting in the corners of her eyes. Oh my god, Iggy, how many years has it been since we did that? Too many, apparently, if the little fuckers are still infecting your code. They are sneaky. I lean back in my chair, tapping my finger against my chin, though strangely enough, they only ever seem to affect your code. This entices a wink. Well, the Iggy bug only affects good code. Rude. I sit up so fast nearly topple over. Gidget just laughs again. Slow down there, Mr. Cat-like reflexes. Else we'll need to call in a real doctor. She pushes herself to her feet with a slap of her thighs. Think I'm gonna get myself a refill. You want anything? I feel rude if I didn't even ask when you sat down. Oh, sure. Just a coffee's fine. Got it. She grabs her near empty mug and heads for the counter. I watch her fall in place. I watch her fall in place in line behind a somewhat thick-set man with a bike helmet. My gaze stays on her for probably a moment too long. For a second, I see a much younger Gidget standing in her place, hair cut above her chin, jeans baggy around her legs, her head buried in her usual gray hoodie. She smiles at me as she waits for her coffee. But is the young Gidget or the adult Gidget? Even I can't tell. I scratch my nose, then turn back to the table with a sigh, slumping forward with my chin in my hand. Coffee's gonna do me some good. We stay at the cafe another hour or so, just talking and catching up, mostly reminiscing, talking about the others, which has me wondering if Gidget is actively avoiding trying to discuss current events, her own endeavors. Perhaps for the better, I suppose. Distraction can do wonders for the mind. She offers me a ride on the way back to the cavette that she needs to stop by her folks first to help her dad pick up some stuff. I don't mind. It's been a while since I visited the old Borderley home. Stepping inside is equally as nostalgic as the cafe had been. All little snippets of memories floating around like bubbles in the air, waiting for my head to ram into them and pop open inside my consciousness. The gleaming hardwood floor running from the front door to the kitchen, the spacious living room with large leather sofa the five of us had spent many movie nights on, the school portraits of Gidget and Gertie in chronological order ascending the hallway wallpaper. Gidget's mom is sitting in the recliner watching TV when we walk in. Gidget walks straight past her and into the kitchen calling for her dad, leaving me alone with her. I stand there awkwardly, smooth down the front of my shirt, scratch my calf on the side of my foot. Hey, Mrs. Bortle, I say finally, one hand on in a half wave. Gidget's mom turns to me lazily. I don't miss the way she sizes me up, her gaze traveling from my face to my shoes and back up to my face. Damn, you turned out ugly. Oh, shit. I blanch. Bring my hands together. Scratch at my knuckles. I don't know what to say, so I don't say anything. I mean, you always were a sickly little thing, but I kind of assumed you'd grow out of it. She shrugs, turns back to her TV. I hear Gidget and her dad talking in the kitchen. When I glance over, I see them headed towards the garage, no doubt to go up into the attic. Her dad's got a step stool under his arm. I scratch at my arm. What are you doing nowadays, anyway? She doesn't even look at me when she asks it. Oh, web development, computer stuff. You know, freelance. It pays the bills. Gidget mom makes a sound that's half acknowledgement, half judgment. Still, must not be very successful. I'm really sweating now. I bite down on my tongue, let my gaze drop to the floor. Not that it matters. I never expected much of my daughter, so. Another shrug, her gaze flicking upward in apathy. When she doesn't continue, I turn toward the TV. It's playing a soap opera of some sort. Everyone's talking 50 times more emotionally than an actual human being would. Not really what I would choose for entertainment, but it's better than staring off to the wall while I wait. So I simply stand there, arms curled across my chest, watch it with her, the silence palpable between us. 1 minute stretches into 2, into 5. Gidget's mom grunts, raises a hand toward the TV. Idiot. I don't really know if she's referring to the two people on the TV. But I'm not about to ask. She clicks her tongue. She's cheating on him, you know, little whore. She really talking to me or the TV? I'm feeling more and more like I want to sink into my shoes. Finally, after what feels like a lifetime, I hear the garage door pop open, then footsteps in the kitchen. Gidget's laughing at something as she carries a somewhat bedraggled box of old computer parts. Should have figured she'd say something like that, Gidget says in response to something I missed, then places a box down on the kitchen table. Is hair fine? That's good, thanks, Squirt. Her dad lugging the step stool toward the other room. Gidget dusts off her hands and wanders back over to the living room. That should be it, Iggy. Sorry for making you wait. Then when she sees the TV. Oh god, not this. I can't believe you're still watching this. I need something to fill the gap my children refuse to fill. What, you want us to fill your life with overdramatic bullshit? Gidget laughs, leaning an arm on the back of the recliner. Better than nothing. A pause. What'd you bring him over for anyway? Who, Iggy? I was just giving him a ride home. Gidget mom's chews on her bottom lip with a hum. Here I was hoping you'd have had some good news for once. Hey, Mom, I finally got engaged. Hell, I'd even take the, hey, Mom, I got knocked up at this point. At least that would get you to settle down. Mother. Gidget's mom raises her hands in sarcastic defense. So sue a woman for wanting grandchildren. I'm not having this conversation right now. It's not like you're doing anything else with your life. I mean, at least you don't look like Dennis the Menace anymore. But I don't know what you're expecting with this whole modeling career of yours. Maybe try losing 20 pounds first? Oh, shit. I'm gonna say nothing. I see Gidget's hands curl into fists as pinpricks of tears appear at the corner of her eyes. This has clearly hit a nerve. Seeing Gidget's face makes my heart twist. Somehow can't bring myself to say anything. This isn't my business. Is it? Gidget shoots me a look of hopelessness before jerking away with a shamed wince. I don't even know why I come home anymore, she shouts, twisting on her heels and starting for the door. Come on, Iggy. Look back and forth between Gidget and her mom in abject stupor. Her mom simply gives a little shrug and goes back to watching her soap. Bye, I say not at all awkwardly before scuttling after Gidget. I reach her just as she shoves open the front door, and I give a flustered yelp and it flies into my back into my face. The drive back to my apartment was silent. I sit in the passenger seat, playing with my hands and staring out the window as Gidget keeps her gaze locked on the straight ahead, her fingers tied around the wheel. Fortunately, it's not far. We reach the small parking lot of my apartment complex about 5 minutes, and Gidget pulls the car into one of the free spots. She turns off the engine, sits back in her seat. The silence returns, even more palpable than before, without the sound of the engine to mask it. I toss a few wayward glances in her direction before I work up the courage to say something. Sorry about that. I cringe. Gidget lets out a phlegmy groan. That's half roar, half wail. She brings her hands to her head and clutches at her hair. She makes me so mad. The things she says. What gives her the right? She slams her fist back down the wheel, hitting the horn on the process, making me jump. I watch her nervously. She slumps forward, bringing her hand to her forehead. I can see her shoulders trembling. I'm trying so hard, she says softly. So softly I almost can't hear her. I glance down at my lap. The hair on my arms is standing up. Big cold stone feels like it's settling down in the deepest recesses of my bowels, a heavy weight dampening my spirit. I bring a hand up, reach towards her, pull back, wince, then finally rest it softly on her shoulder. It's not the first time I've seen Gidget upset. It's not the first time I've tried to comfort her. But it is the first time since things had changed between us. My brows furrow. Hey, it's okay. We know you are. I pause. I know you are. I give her shoulder what I hope is a comforting squeeze. She wipes the tear dribbling its way down her cheek, looks up at me. Sometimes I just feel like nothing I do is good enough. I bite down on my lip, and, and confused. Confused? Yeah, I don't know. I just. Sorry, it's stupid. Her eyes are welling up again. I don't know what I want. I don't know what I want to do. Sometimes I don't even know who I am anymore. What do you mean? There's something about this admission that saps me. What do you mean? I scratch a tickle of anxiety plaguing the underside of my cheek. Gidget stares straight ahead of the wheel, sniffs. I don't I don't know. A pause. I look in the mirror, and I hate what I see. I stare at her in silence. But like? She raises her hands in gesture and confusion. Everyone else, they seem to like me better. At first, I loved it. I loved the attention. I loved people loving me, paying attention to me. No more snide comments from my mom about putting me on what not to wear. No more offhanded suggestions from my grandma about how my eyes would look so pretty with some mascara. Getting compliments about how pretty I look. Not getting made fun of anymore. She rubs her arm with a cringe. But inside, I, her gaze falls, and I see her clench her eyes shut. I don't know. I just don't know. I find myself at a loss for words. So rather than say anything, I pull her against my side, resting my head on hers. We sit there in silence. My cheek mashes against her hair, her shoulders trembling ever so slightly. I can see her playing with her fingers atop her thighs, pushing first one finger back, then the next, then switching hands and repeating their process anew. You know that, I finally say, phlegm cracking the back of my throat. I'll always be there for you, right? No matter what you do? A sniff. I feel her twitch. Then suddenly her body goes strangely tense. I pull away. What's wrong? Her face had gone red. I see her lips trembling. Um, she swallows. Then in the next instant, oh! She leans in toward me and brings her lips against mine. I freeze. I'm not sure I even register what's happening at first. Only the Gidget is there. I can't breathe. And fuck if my heart doesn't quickly go into overdrive as I hyper-focus on the soft feeling of her lips. It doesn't last more than a few seconds. She quickly pulls away, brings her hands to her cheeks in what looks like sheer panic. Her face is a brilliant shade of crimson. Fuck. Fuck. Oh God. I didn't mean to. Oh, fuck. She starts slapping her palms against her forehead. I feel my own body unclench, muscles untwisting as I sink against the back of her car seat. I just stare at her, eyes wide and blinking. I must look like a deer on headlights. I can't even form words. What are words? The concept of speech has been lost on me. I'm so sorry. Oh my God. She practically curled in on herself now, gaze fixated on her lap. We must sit there like that for a solid 60 seconds, neither of us making a sound before I finally shifted my seat. Um, I say idiotically. I scratch at my cheek. I'm probably about as red as Gidget by this point. I'm I'm sorry. Don't really know what to say. I've never really thought about. I wipe my mouth. Gidget starts to panic at this. She brings her hands up to in a harried defense, nervous grin tugging at her lips. It's okay. I pushed it on you without thinking. I don't expect a response right away or anything. but despite her words, I can see the disappointment on her face, hear it in the way her voice catches. She's been hoping I'd react differently. This shames me, and I bring a shaky hand on my forehead. I'd let her down. I always let people down. Yeah, I need some time to think. Of course. I'm sorry. Don't apologize. It's me. I shouldn't have. But she doesn't finish. More silence. Hi, gaming. Hi, bleh. Hi, Odyssey. Welcome in. We're finally in Arc 4. I need to get out of here. Already I can feel the walls of the car starting to undulate around me. How was stream? I seen you were streaming earlier. Something about 10 hours? I say again. Okay, I'll call you later then, okay? Okay. Pop open the door of the passenger seat and swung a leg out. Have a nice night. I grimace, but pull myself up and out of the car all the same, running a hand through my hair. 10 hours done, and it's now officially my birthday UK time. Oh, nice. Well, happy birthday. I swing the door shut. What the actual fuck is wrong with me? Who says that? I'm too awkward to live. You're welcome. Watch her pull out of the spot and give a somewhat half-hearted wave as she drives away. I wander toward my apartment building. Something seems razor focused yet hazy at the same time, and a cold sweat has broken out across the back of my neck. It takes me 3 times to get my key into the lock of my door. My fingers are shaking so bad. Once inside, I shut the door behind me and I fall back against it, letting myself slide to the floor. I close my eyes. My whole body's trembling now. I curl my arms around my legs, bury my face into my knees. Fuck. Nothing I do helps me settle down after that. Into the afternoon, into the evening. I stay fixated, hyper fixated, on what happened in the car, on that closeness, on her lips against mine, and the lingering disappointment tugging at her lips as she looked at me afterward. I don't get any work done. Can't. My head's too jumbled. I try sitting down at my desk and end up just staring at the blank monitor for a good 15 minutes before I realize I haven't even turned the computer on. No, I'm not going to be able to focus at all. I just lie down on the couch, staring at the ceiling, perfectly still despite the jumping jacks my intestines are doing inside my gut. Once the sun starts to set, painting the far wall a glorious fiery red, I decide to take a bath. Yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? Steam the thoughts out of me. I let the tub fill as I scrounge around the kitchen, desperately hoping I'd get some alcoholic dregs somewhere. There's a near empty bottle of rum in the back of the fridge, with about an ounce left coloring the bottom. Good enough. I grab it and head to the bathroom. Water feels amazing. It's been forever since I've taken a bath. Not really sure why, because I just haven't ever thought about it. Maybe I should change that. Might do some good for ever-growing pressure in my spine. The steam marbles in the air above the water, curling, twisting, floating upward at the ceiling, where it gathers in smoky clumps. I sink down to my chin, watch the water ripple around my pasty knees. What is she even seeing me anyway? The thought pops in my head without warning. Brown. It's true, though. Gidget is beautiful, sweet, optimistic, and I'm one of those things, that's for sure. I'm basically a living cadaver. Nothing but color-drained skin and bones. Hell, I can't even take care of myself. I couldn't imagine being somehow responsible for another person's well-being in addition to my own. I rarely even leave the house, just plunking away at my keyboard while Gidget's out there chasing her dream. Her dream. Another frown. I don't know what I want. I don't know what I want to do. Sometimes I don't even know who I am anymore. I scratch at a mole on my thigh, then reach for the rum, drowning the frustratingly few drops from the still cold bottle. Then, of course, there's that. If I did reciprocate, if I did agree to be with her, then we have to. I glance down at my splayed legs, at the faint outline of my junk lying innocently against the white tufts of hair. I jerk my gaze away, bring my palm to my forehead. Even thinking about it is sending uncomfortable snips and snaps across my arms and legs. It shouldn't be like that, should it? It should be. It should be thrilled, shouldn't I? To have a beautiful girl like Gidget like me like that? To want me like that? I sink further into the water, up to my nose, almost as though wanting to disappear. It's not that I've never taken care of myself before. Sometimes it's like it just stands on its own, and it feels good, a nice release. But I don't think about anyone when I do it. Certainly not Gidget, not even celebrities, models. Sometimes I just think about others doing it with each other, two characters I like that go well together, for instance. But I'm not involved. Wouldn't want to be involved. I feel myself start to heat up. And it's not from the bath. Bring my hands to my eyes, pressing down at the sockets of my palms. Wish there'd have been more rum left in that bottle. I can barely feel it. All I want right now is to shut everything off, turn everything off. My hands are trembling against my skin. I'm scared. So fucking scared. I take a deep breath in an attempt to calm myself down. I need to think about something else. Anything else. Like good old days, yeah? All of us hanging out. Best buds. Just laughing and having fun. None of these complications. When everything still made sense. Yeah. I let my eyes close, blowing bubbles through my nose that dance on the water surface. You're gonna die, Iggy. My brow twitches. You think I don't know that? Hot. It had been hot that day. I can still remember the sight of the heat warping above the asphalt. The sound of others laughing and shouting in the playground. The five of us are in the shade, huddled around the cards of the ground as we're performing some kind of magic seance. I bite down on my lip in frustration, gaze flicking back and forth between the cards in my hand and the cards on the blacktop. Don't you have anything you can play? He ain't got shit. That's 5 for 5. Bow before the undefeated champion. Denzel raises his arms in the air, hands curled into fists. You've reached the plateau, but not yet a hero. He starts cackling. Are you ready to meet and defeat? Are you ready to meet and defeat the elite? This just makes my brows furrow further. But no matter how I try to calculate with the various possibilities, none of them see me coming back from this. I am so pissed. How the frick is Genzo able to win every time? I slap my hand down on the ground. Gidget takes this opportunity to look through it. Yeah, I think you're done for. On the other side of the circle, Orlum wrings his hands. Genzo won again. He smiles. Damn straight I did. Not that it was really any contest. Genzo licks the pad of his thumb, then slicks his hair back. This tech is a miracle of science. Carefully engineered and administered an unholy amount of whoop-ass to anyone who dare challenge it. I chew on the inside of my cheek with an unamused pout. I'd been so optimistic at the time. I'd rebuilt my deck from the ground up and everything. Gidget pats me on the knee with a little smile. We can buy some more packs after school. Yeah. Try all you want, foolish mortal. But nothing can take down the true master, Genzo laughs, and slaps Orm's hands away as he tries to touch one of the cards. Don't contaminate my cards with your nasty, greasy fingers. Orlum shrinks away, curling his arms around his asphalt-dusted knees. You have to be so mean about it. It just sticks out her tongue. It's fine, I don't care. I say with an apathetic cuff. Besides, recess is almost over. We need to clean up anyway. I start picking up my cards and gems and packing them away neatly in my little carrying case. Come on, bell's gonna ring. But Genzo isn't listening. He's got his hands in the air, fingers curling in and out menacingly. Damn, I'm in a good mood now. Feel like strangling something. I laugh. Come here, Orlum. He pounces. Orlum yelps. I ignore them, instead turning towards Gidget when she stands up next to me. I'm gonna run to the bathroom. Oh, I'll go too. I push myself to my feet, dusting off my knees. I hear one of the teachers blow their whistle as they walk away. As we walk away, followed by a shrill, "Boys!" directed at Genzo and Orlum. Gidget and I, around the corner, headed towards the door leading back inside the hallway with the bathrooms. Don't let it get to you, Iggy, Gidget says with a little smile, giving my shoulder a pat. He's just being a brat like usual. She rolls her eyes. Yeah. Like I know. I laugh. The air turns instantly cool once we are back inside. I wipe the sweat from my forehead. I take my eyes a moment to adjust. Then I head to the boys' bathroom on the left as Gidget takes the door on the right. I'm just about to disappear inside when I hear voices and stop. Aren't you using the wrong one? I snicker. I poke my head back outside as two boys accosting Gidget, their hands to their mouths in stifled laughter. Yeah, you're not a girl. No one knows what you are. More laughter. Gidget's brow furrows. She takes a menacing step toward them. Just shut up. I am a girl. Sure about that? Yeah. Let's see it. But you don't even own any dresses. Leave me alone. I hear Gidget's voice crackle. I step back into the hallway. Hey. Two boys yelp and scuttle backwards. Oh no, it's his boyfriend. Leave her alone or I'm calling a teacher. This sends them to another fit of laughter. Whatever, freak. But they do leave, still snickering as they dart toward the outside door. I watch them until they disappear and turn back to Gidget. She's just staring at the ground, her shoulders slumped. They're just jerks. Don't mind them. Yeah. But the earlier energy's gone from her voice. I don't know what to do. What to say. I run a hand through my hair. But my voice trails off to silence. I scratch my calf with the side of my foot. It's whatever. Come on, we need to hurry before the bell's gonna ring. Finally says, forcing a smile. She turns before I can say anything else, disappearing into the girls' bathroom. I can only watch as the door slams shut behind her and wander off to the other bathroom in silence. I dream that night. In the woods, someone's calling me. I chase after the voice in the darkness, but every time I think it's getting close, it comes from a different direction. Iggy. I run faster, the branches whipping at my face and the roots underfoot threatening to send me stumbling into the dirt. Come find me, Iggy. I run, and I run, and I run. Run until the forest seems to open up in front of me. I burst into a clearing, my breath ragged, my heart beat beating out of my chest. Oh, here's the cabin. It's the first time I dreamt about the cabin. Where am I? Where is this? Then I see it. A small cabin. Looks so familiar somehow. Like I've seen it before. Once. Twice. Who knows how many times. I'll wait until my breath has started to slow down before trudging toward it. It's almost like it's pulling me in. Closer and closer. My pace quickening with every step. I reach the door. It's deathly quiet. No wind, no birds, no insects chirping. I open it. It's not locked. So I peer inside. It's small but cozy, sporting not much more than a bed, table, and stove, which is what was in it before. Why does all this feel so... I step forward before I can stop myself, all the way inside the cabin. Just look around. It's warm and strangely comforting. There's even something cooking on top of the stove, filling the air with a delightfully sweet scent.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey. Sorry if I spooked you.
Yeah, you did. Sorry, it's okay. We're just reading our Wonderland.
Nice. I did not know you're live. I was looking at going live. I guess I was in promo still. Hi, B.
That's okay.
Enjoy. That's
Okay,
my bad.
that's okay.
Have fun.
Yep. Uh, what am I doing here? I look around. My gaze. Hey, thanks for the follow. Cloud Super Saiyan 4. Welcome in. My name is Lacole. I mainly play visual novels, as we're doing one right now. When I don't do visual novels, do I play collabs with friends. Yes, evening. And we reached our goal of 490. 10 more, we will be at 500. Yes. I look around, my gaze jumping to the stove, the table, the bed. Something about the bed sends my insides to a twist. I shake my head to clear my thoughts, jerking away. I look instead towards the back of the cabin. That's when I notice it. A doll. Its small button eyes are stared blankly at the floor, and it hangs from the doorknob. Doorknob. I bring my gaze up. Yeah, there's a doorknob. Another door. Had I not noticed it when I first walked in? I'm here, Iggy. That's right. That's where I need to go. She's waiting for me. I take a step toward the door. Another. For some reason, my heart's thumping like crazy. Like it's about to beat straight out of my chest. And my fingers. My fingers are trembling, shaking. I'm almost there. I reach out for the doorknob. Something scurries across the room behind me. I spin around. My mouth feels so dry. So dry I can't swallow. Can't even breathe. Then right next to my ear, a child's voice. So filled with pain and sorrow and deep-rooted despair. It's as though I'll never be happy again. Please kill me, Iggy. I gasp and sit up. My room. I'm in my room. It's morning, and the sun's filtering in through the blinds. A paint checkered stripe. to paint checkered stripes across my exposed legs, peeking out from the mess of gnarled, sweaty sheets. God damn. Bring a hand to my forehead. It comes away soaked in sweat. I try to remember what the dream was about, but already all I can latch onto are the scattered, hazy images. A lingering feeling of dread. I let my upper half sag forward and focus on the ground, the sound of the birds outside the window. Good old reality. Yesterday must have messed me up even more than I thought. With a little groan, I pushed myself out of the bed and trudged to the bathroom to clean up. I spend most of the morning trying to work. I really need to. After getting nothing done yesterday, I'm falling more and more behind. But every line of code seems to take me twice as long to finagle. And the longer I stare into this screen, the more my mind starts to wander. It starts to play the moment in the car over and over. I'm feeling cold again. My fingers like ice as they scratch at my forehead. What do I do? When does she expect an answer? I don't know the etiquette around these types of things. Am I being a complete asshole by not getting back to her right away? But I still don't even know what I'm gonna say. How am I gonna respond? No matter what I say, things are never going to be the same between the two of us. For better or for worse. I rub at my eyes, check the time on my phone. It's already pushing the latter half of the afternoon. I'm all of a sudden overcome with the urge to not be alone, which is honestly weird for me. But right now, my thoughts are eating me alive, and I need something to keep me from getting trapped in my own cycle of stomach roiling anguish. Maybe even someone I could talk to about all this. Someone who might actually be able to give me advice, work me through it. Pop open my contacts on my phone, scroll down to Genzo's name. Oh, thank God, finally Genzo. If there's somebody who can help, it'd be Genzo. He always seems to have an answer for everything. He picks up on the second ring. Holy hell, who is this? Some kind of demonic being come to convey my soul? Begone! The power of Christ compels you and all that shit. Very funny. Genzo snickers into the receiver. Hey, I'm just saying. I don't even remember last time you called me. So you're either on your deathbed, about to croak your last breath, or you've been possessed. I'm not about to let some nasty-ass demon claim ownership over my dick. I don't respond. What do I say? My throat feels as tight as a vice. Genzo must have noticed my silence. Wait, what's wrong? Don't tell me you're actually dying. No. I wipe my mouth. Turn my gaze towards the far wall. Do you want to go out? Get drinks or something? The line goes silent. Dead silent. And I regret my words immediately. I must have said something wrong. I don't know what I'm even doing here. What's the normal way to tell a friend that you need to talk? I feel myself start to sweat. Sorry. Did that come out weird? I was just wondering if you wanted to hang out because, I just feel like I really needed to talk to someone all of a sudden, but, I know you're probably busy, so it's okay. In fact, just forget I even asked. More silence. And finally, a laugh. No, it's fine. You're fine, Egg, sure. I'd be down. When would I ever turn down my best pal in the universe for drinks? Eh? What about that place on Sherman? It's my usual spot. Easy for me to get home from when I'm 3 sheets to the wind. Sure, I think I know where that is. Not that I ever, been. No, you wouldn't have, would you? Another laugh. The line goes silent again. I wait for him to continue. He coughs. Anyway, Meet there in an hour? Sure. Despite the awkward phone call, drinks turn out to be a good idea. Great even. The place is cozy and dark, and we get ourselves a small table toward the back, Genzo ordering 1 beer, 2 beers, 3, while I opt for something a bit stronger. God, can Genzo make me laugh, though. I'd forgotten this. Forgotten us. My lungs hurt as he replays the harrowing tale of his entire tools shelf falling from the wall right as a family of 5 was there to pick up a new cherry gecko for their kid's 13th birthday. And then we're reliving moments from school, from junior year chemistry, where the two of us sat in the back of the room and goofed off the whole time, to the time we went camping in my folks' backyard and Orlem had gotten so scared a murderer was going to come get us that he wouldn't stop crying. He'd only calmed down after we zipped up our sleeping bags together with him in the middle of the Orlem sandwich. Even all the way back to when we'd gone exploring the bigger sewer pipes behind Genzo's house. Gidget had found a weird blue glass ball that the 5 of us had dubbed the orb and kept in a box in Genzo's parents' garage. With this one, though, my thoughts flick back to Gidget. Right. That's why I'm even here, isn't it? Gidget. I can already feel the curling trundles of anxiety begin to take hold in my lower regions of my belly again. Hey, I'm gonna go have a smoke. Be back in a jiffy. Genzo's voice snaps me from my thoughts, and I jerk my head upward. Oh, alright, yeah. I watch as he slides out of the booth, cane flicking left and right as he cruises to the far door. Bring a hand on my face, stare down at my half-empty drink. I'm pretty drunk. I can feel the nearest heat overtaking my stomach and chest. The way my gaze struggles to stay focused on the one thing. And the way it mixes with the anxiety building in my stomach, like a Molotov cocktail. Without Genzo's voice there to ward it off, everything is starting to come back, rising up, faster than I could stop it and sending cold chills across the back of my neck. I need to tell him. I need to tell him now, or else I'll never get it out. At least that's what my brain's telling me. And so, despite the numbness of my fingers and the trembling in my legs, I push myself to my feet and start toward the door. Enzo's sitting on the little bench around the corner of the building when I step outside. He looks incredibly small somehow in the darkness, cigarette smoke marbling above his head. When did it get so dark? Is it really a night already? I stumble toward him. Genzo? My voice cracks with phlegm like some kind of newly arisen zombie. I see Genzo's body jerk backward. His head spins toward me with a snap, cigarette practically flying from his lips. Holy fuck, the hell you doing, Eggs? You're gonna give me a heart attack. He chuckles, but it's higher pitched than his usual goughs, nervous. I scratch at my calf with my other foot. I can see him staring in my direction. Already, my voice is failing me. I walk over to him instead, sitting down hard on the bench beside him. Everything all right? Maybe you had one too many in there. Another chuckle. He blows out a plum of smoke, and the smell gathers in my nasal cavity, charred and burned. Can I tell you something? He goes quiet. I swear I can hear him swallow. I mean, sure, of course. You can always tell me anything, eh? I lick my lips, rub the spot on my pants. And finally, Gidget kissed me. Silence. I feel him shift on the bench. That's great. Mr. Heartbreaker over here, making the girls swoon. Am I right or am I right? He elbows me in the ribs with a laugh. There's a strange trembling in his voice. You two finally an item then? I always knew it was gonna happen. Made for each other and all that, you know? Hi, Mr. Rich Boy, welcome in. Trust me, I feel like Garfield on Mondays. They shouldn't exist. Let's just go straight to Tuesday. But then we'd all feel like that then too, huh? Welcome in. How are you? Just please tell me you let me be your best man for the wedding. I'll throw the most bodacious bachelor party for you. Oh yeah, I can imagine that one. My fingers curl tighter and tighter around my knees as he talks. No, I don't know what I should do. I haven't given her any kind of answer yet. Doing well, just taking it easy. On a hot, hot day. Yeah, it's supposed to be even hotter for me tomorrow. Genzo sits back. I can practically see him blinking at me beneath the sunglasses. What, you don't like her? A smirk. I know I haven't seen her since junior high, but I'm sure she's as much of a babe now as she was back then. He cocks his cigarette up between his lips. She's. I bring a hand to my forehead. She's gorgeous. Yes, fuck, and I do like her, but at the same time, I swallow. Scared? I'm so fucking scared. That's what alcohol's for, buddy. Gives my shoulder shrinks. Gives my shoulder a reassuring shake. Nice dinner, a bottle of wine, and bingo bango. Let's sweet caress shall handle the rest. Even someone as socially inept as you can't screw that part up. I'm starting to shake now. My fingers trembling. I clutch at them in an attempt to calm them down. That's just it. Why is it so difficult to say? I don't want to do that. Oh, you're one of those types. Want to be special? Is that it? Well, that's fine too. You can plan out a whole evening. Make it all romantic. Really lay it on thick. If I know Gidget, she'll eat it right up. Girls always have a soft spot for the idyllic. Just show her what a chivalrous. Just show her how chivalrous you are. Then it doesn't matter how bad you perform. When you perform, you get what I mean? He snorts in laughter, taps the ash off his cigarette. No, I clench my hands in my hair, cheeks burning. I don't want to have sex. Last word seems to echo in the night air, pulsing on and off, again and again. And my fucking heart, it's gone into overdrive. I can feel it in my arms, my legs, my head, my eyes. Somehow, in that one blurted phrase, I finally managed to verbalize the confusion and fear that had been strangling me for I don't know how long. Surprised even me. That's what it had been all this time. So simple, and yet so fucking terrifying at the same time. I just sit there, holding my breath, waiting for Genzo to say something. Feels like forever. The silence just weighing down on my shoulders. Then finally, his voice cracks as he asks softly, "At all?" I shake my head. That's so jumbled, and I forgot a moment that he can't see me. Then follow it up with, "I don't think so." Lets out a sorta half grunt, and I see his gaze turn upward almost as though he's looking at the sky. Uh, he says after a moment. My eyes start to burn as if I feel hot tears welling up the corners. There's something wrong with me, isn't there? Israel will never want to be with me once she knows. She'll hate me. Hey, don't say that. But now apparently the floodgates have been opened because the tears are streaming down my cheeks. I'll never be able to make her happy. I'll never be able to make anyone happy. No one would ever want to be with someone like me. My body crumbles in on itself, and I let myself fall on Genzo's shoulder. Genzo's body goes rigid against mine. Hair's breath hitch. He doesn't do anything at first. but ever so gently he puts his arms around my back, fingers curling around my waist. He gives me a reassuring squeeze. Don't say that, he says so softly I almost don't hear it. He presses his cheek on top of my head. It's a comforting warmth. I feel my chest start to unclench itself ever so slightly. I sniff. What do I do? Genzo sighs. Takes him a long time to respond. I can see his knee bouncing, the orange glow of his cigarette trembling. Tell her the truth. Tell her how I feel. Explain it to her. His words are slow, careful. Then the ball's in her court. She's the only one who can decide if she's willing to. He winces. Sorry. That's a poor choice of words. I don't know how to. I don't want to make it sound like. But he doesn't finish. He doesn't need to, though. I know what he's been about to say. She'd need to be willing to put up with me. Willing to make that sacrifice. Willing to be with someone like me. That thought shames me. I feel my heart drop somewhere down near my shoes. Genzo feels my slump deepen because Genzo must feel my slump deepen because he gives me another squeeze, pulls me in tight against his side. Hey, 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 sorry. Don't just forget what I even started to say, okay? I'm really fucking bad at this. I just say the first fucking words that pop in my old noggin, but like I never thought about or like been in the situation before, so I'm just struggling to figure out how to say things. But that's on me, not you. I see him bite down on his lip. Look, if she loves you for the way you are, then she's the one for you. That's just straight facts. So just be open with her. That's all you can do in the end. Yeah. And while we're at it, Eggs, don't you ever fucking say nobody will ever want to be with you. Ever again. You hear me? Because that's grade A bullshit. Fly guy like you. You don't need sex to bring the ladies to the yard. If Gidget's not the one, you'll have a whole fucking conga line dance with the no cock rock with you. So just get that thought out of your mind before I have to slap it out myself. I chuckle in spite of myself. Comes out a sort of phlegmy hiccup. Okay. What about you? I feel Genzo's body give the slightest twitches. Slightest of twitch. What? I just mean, if you were seeing a girl and she ended up saying something similar, would you still be with her? Genzo goes silent. He shifts. Shifts again. I feel immediately awkward. Sorry. I just thought you'd probably have a lot more experience with things like this. I mean, sure, I guess. Another cough. More than, you, I guess. But, you know me. Hey, married to my work and all. Those bikes aren't gonna fix themselves. Not that I've, never be shifts, grunts. Anyway, my love life has been more trial and error than anything else. Emphasis on the error. Not really a whole lot of opportunity in a small town like this for a guy like me. You know what I mean? A laugh. In silence. Before finally, but, I mean, if there was a girl I liked and she said something like that, a pause, I wouldn't care. Gives my shoulder a little squeeze. Sure, maybe it'd take me a day or two to wrap my head around it, especially if, like, another laugh. I'd been imagining it would be like with the person every day for years. Am I right or am I right? But, like, to me, just being with that person would be enough. boards settle around my heart like a warm blanket. I feel something in my chest unclench ever so slightly. I smile. Thanks. Even if you're just saying that. Hey, I mean it. And softly, I mean it. Grows quiet again. Two of us are just sitting there with little bench outside of Grubb's pub on Sherman Avenue. I sniff. I've never told anyone any of this before. Genzo just laughs. Yeah, didn't figure. A pause. His cigarette's already burnt clear near to the filter. When he pushes his face to the top of my head. I'm glad you told me, though. Well, that was your turn to tell him. I walk Genzo home after we finish our drinks. The street's strangely silent. Not a single car driving by. No voices or sounds from the surrounding houses. When we reach the little path leading up to his apartment complex, I don't see any lights on. Weird. Street lights nearest of us flickering on and off, on off. Then a tiny buzz that makes the hair on my arm stand up. We both just stand there in the middle of the sidewalk, whether one of us moving to leave. Neither of us moving to leave. Genzo coughs to his hand. That air feels kind of nice somehow. Might keep walking for a bit. Yeah, me too. So we continue on away from the apartment complex, simply ambling along in silence, neither of us wanting to admit that something is pulling us. Something is keeping our feet in motion. From one street to the next, we walk ahead toward the development to the north. Toward where my folks used to live, just south of the outcropping of woods that somehow hasn't been built over even all these years. My palm's starting to tingle. Pinprick like scratching that jumps from one nerve ending to the next and makes my fingers twitch. But rather than uncomfortable, it feels welcoming. Like I'm back at the path I've well traveled. Genzo comes to a stop first. I glance over and I see why. The familiar gap between the houses. That empty lot with its grass, tufts, and dandelions, and that blooming shadow of woods beyond. We're here, aren't we? Genzo asks. We are. His brows furrow. Look, I'm just going to assume you felt the same thing I did, otherwise, why the hell would you walk all the way out here with me? Yeah. Perfect. No need to talk about it then. I could pretend I'm at least somewhat sane for a little while longer. He claps his hands together and starts across the grassy track. I expend the energy in a short jog to catch up, then fall and step beside him. We reach the treed threshold just as a gust of wind curls up under my shirt, sending goosebumps across my back. At this point, I'm about 99.9% certain we've done this before. Genzo's thumping his cane across the nearest tree as though testing for whether it's real. I can't argue with him. Despite knowing I've never stood in this spot, never stood here with him pondering what we're both about to do, I feel as though I've done this hundreds of times. Whenever I try to latch onto that feeling, though, it slips through my fingers like sand. And trying to picture what happens next is even more futile. Like trying to remember a dream once you've opened your eyes. I glance back at the lot of the sidewalk and the streetlight at the distance, all the neighboring houses and their darkened windows. Then turn my gaze back to the shadow between the trees. A lifting wisp of wind curling around my ankles and tussling the leaves underfoot. I guess we go then? To there? No, on an all expenses paid trip to purgatory? At this point, what's the difference? Touche. I steady my breath, attempt to calm the accelerating tremolo of my heart, and step forward. The air instantly cools. It's a damp chill, the kind that sticks to your skin and weighs down on your chest. I press forward, through the scattered brush across my hands to keep from walking face first into a tree. I hear Genzo's cane whipping across the grass and snapping against the bark behind me. Either way, my body remembers which direction to go, even after this long, even in this pitch black nothingness. Though perhaps it's not memory at all. Memory wouldn't tug at my arm. Memory wouldn't tweak the direction of my nose with every step, leading me further and further into the spongy blackness where all I could hear is my own heartbeat echoing off my rib cage. I reach forward, seeking the bark of the next tree, only this time, when my fingers touch the jagged edges, it sends a spark of all the way up my arm into the back of my throat. I stop. Genzo's cane whaps against my ankles and he stops too. We're here? Yeah. I answer before I even have a chance to check, because I know. How could I not? The biggest tree in the forest. Its base is like a giant boulder choked with the winding roots. I let my fingers trace across the surface as I circle around, careful not to trip over the garland overgrowths. Gnarled overgrowths. Halfway round, my hand hits the air. I come to a halt. Familiar edges are there. The rounded gap in the side, the hollow echo of stagnant air, the far-off scent of something sweet. It's open. I take a step back and clear Genzo's approach. And hear Genzo approach. Unsurprising, all things considered. He has a point. If it weren't open, none of what we just experienced would make a lick of sense. My thoughts jump to Gidget. She's here, isn't she? Like everything else, I don't know how I know, I just know. She's down here. Waiting for me. Waiting for my response. The thought makes my mouth go dry. I need to tell her. But how will she react? Will I end up losing one of my best friends? Still there, Eggs? Head snaps back at Genzo's voice. He laughs. Quiet as a ghost over there. Thought maybe you already went bottoms up. No, I was just thinking. Genzo goes quiet, but I hear him shifting in the darkness. Everyone else is already down there, aren't they? He finally says softly. Yeah. Just two of us losers left. Damn. It's almost picture say in the way. I move forward towards the hole, popping a squat amongst the weeds. There's that scent again. Soft, sweet. Like a tempting aroma at a candy store. It curls inside my nostrils. I grab the rounded edges of the peak inside, leaning forward on my toes. At least you got plenty of time to talk to Gidge, eh? I jerk my head up at this, retort already playing on my tongue, only to whack my forehead on the top edge of the hole, promptly losing my balance. I land with a bruise-inducing thud on my shins. The last thing I hear as I begin to sway forward is Genzo's half-amused. See you on the other side. Before toppling straight into the hole. Darkness swallows me. I'm falling. Wind whips my hair, my shirt summoning water under my eyes. Snow feels like it's been sucked up straight to my bowels. On and on and on and on and on. Complete nothingness surrounding me, consuming me. But there's a strange sense of familiarity in the darkness too. Almost like an old friend is welcoming me back. Iggy. That voice again. Again. Yeah, again. It's been waiting for me. What do you want, Iggy? What do I want? What kind of question is that? What do you wish for more than anything else in the whole world? I don't know. I think about Gidget. Genzo. Tangled mess of feelings plague my thoughts. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I'm being pulled. First one way, then the next. Like a puppet suspended in the air. I grope in the darkness, trying to find something to hold on to. But there's nothing there. Nothing inside me. Nothing to hold me down. I don't know. I don't know what I want. The pulling feeling begins to recede. In a single path again. My fingers. My fingers are starting to tingle. Tiny the tiny nibbles of numbness from... Scared myself half to death trying dropping my mouse. First tiny nibbles of numbness, then building into instant zaps of electricity. Oh boy. Up, up, up my arms as they go, growing and growing into my chest, into my stomach, shooting down into my legs. And loud, so loud, I can't hear, can't think. When I think I can't take it anymore, my mind goes blank. Iggy, there's something soft below me. Furry warmth curled up, nestled against my back like an oversized lumbar pillow. Iggy. Who is that? Genzo? Why is he in my apartment? Thought makes me laugh. I roll over with a groan, pushing my face back into the exceptionally soft bit of fur with a smile of contentment. Give me a few more minutes, Genzo. Then I'll come out for breakfast. Oh, for fuck's sake, Eggs, you're gonna suffocate yourself. You're gonna get yourself buried in there. Wait a minute. My eyes snapped open. This isn't my apartment. So that is Genzo. Then where are we? Set up with the start so fast. I set up with the start so fast it makes my head spin and dots dance across my eyes. Hi, David. Welcome in. How are you today? I immediately sink back down, fingers pressed to my temple as I wait for the world to stabilize itself. Oh, fuck. Fuck is right. Let's try to take things one step at a time, huh? A shadow overtakes my view. I look up to see a familiar orange-capped head. I turn my blurry gaze towards Genzo. That's right. We're here. And like everything that's happened so far, this doesn't surprise me. I'm not sure anything would surprise me at this point. How long have you been awake? I ask with a groan. Genzo reaches down, grabs my hand, pulling me to my feet with a laugh. I'm great today, just finished celebrating someone's birthday on Discord, that is. Awesome! Well, happy birthday to them. Long enough to hear you talk in your sleep. Who's Mr. Cornwall and why is he trying to make you sing? I stare at him for a moment, head still struggling to catch up, then grunt and try to step toward the center of the room. My legs promptly give. The world quickly rises around me as I stumble forward. I'd have gone all the way to the floor too if Genzo hadn't somehow managed to grab me ungracefully beneath my armpits, my arms cocked out like a chicken's wings. Let's just take it easy there, buddy. Not gonna get very far if you bust your head open on a childhood snack rack. Oh, Odyssey. Okay, yeah, Odyssey was in here a little bit ago. I don't know if he still is. He hauls me over to the table and questions with a grunt, plopping me down top of one of the small chairs. I'm barely large enough to encompass my adult rear end. It's barely large enough to encompass my adult rear end. We're really here then, I say as my gaze scans the room. My eyes flick to the table, still covered in half-eaten cookies, and to the crackling fire, rounded windows, simmering stove. Everything is just as I remember. Almost as if I'd just been here yesterday. Had I been here yesterday? That we are, though I think you'll concur with me that it wasn't altogether entirely unexpected. Genzo's finger goes to his chin. No. I let my lips buzz in a sigh of remorse and slap my hands against my forehead. But that's exactly why this feels so weird. What the fuck's going on? Some prime fuckery, that's what. Genzo laughs, then waggles his fingers above the table. I wonder if they're still in. Wonder if these are still good. He swipes off a chocolate chip cookie on the hardwood surface. Seriously. He shrugs. Guys gotta eat. I push myself to my feet, leaving him to his cookie munching ministrations and wandering toward the other side of the room. A chill sweeps my back as I curl my arms in front of my chest, all of a sudden feeling incredibly cold. My head is a mess. A jumbled snarl of out-of-focus snapshots dancing across my vision. A whole smorgasbord of feelings to go with them. Fear, anger, panic, but also others I can't explain. Joy? Relief? Pain? I wince. I'm starting to feel nauseous. Hey, you okay? Genzo's voice snaps me from my thoughts, and when I glance back, I see him staring at me, half a cookie hanging from his mouth. The absurdly and strange familiarity of the image brings a bubble of laughter up from my lungs. When I try to suppress it, I end up snorting instead. Attractive. Genzo smirks. Oh, is this the one snarfing down to who knows how long they've been sitting their cookies? Hey! He starts as though he's about to make some sort of smart-mouthed rebuttal, but ultimately shrugs it off, wandering over to me instead. Seriously though, you look like you're about to pass out. Fucking pale as a ghost. And I mean worse than usual. Presses the back of his hand on my cheek. The touch, combined with the words, sends lightning bolt-like zap shooting through my brain with such force it takes the breath out of me. Both of us snap backward. Did you just... I start just staring at him. Now it's Genzo's turn to pale. I've said that before, haven't I? The same exact fucking words. My eyes feel like they're shaking out of their sockets. Shaking in their sockets. Fuck, fuck, fuck. But we're not given time to ponder the increasing absurdity of our situation. There's footsteps outside. Heavy, march-like, steady. And methodical. Oh no. Genzo groans. We dash toward the window, but it's not like we need to. Both of us know what's about to round the bend outside. They appear as predicted, 2 by 2, boots bruising the dirt, long ears bouncing left, right, left. They round the curve of the well-trimmed path, kicking up dust in each synchronized step. I step away from the window, wringing my hands. Nausea plaguing my stomach, growing worse. I already can feel the walls starting to dilute around me. Trundles of panic clenching at my chest and throat. Genzo. I moan before I can stop myself, breath coming out faster and faster. Genzo spins around and starts toward me, his face colored with worry. But just as he opens his mouth, footsteps come to a stop. An abrupt stop. Even more abrupt than expected. Who's there? Show yourself. Oh, that's new. The squawk was so shrill it rattles the window glass on its pane. And the shock of it gives my bowels each such a twitch that I'm pretty sure I burst my linens on the spot. Eyes strained, I throw a look at Genzo and who looks equally as terrified. How could they? There's no way they could have. Then comes the sound of boots. Crisp and sharp, the footsteps grow louder near the cottage door. He's coming. He's coming inside. My hand goes instinctively to Genzo's shoulder, fingers curling tight in the fabric of his jacket. I see him move purposely to the left, putting himself between me and the door, an arm raised to keep us back. Closer. The rabbit's almost here now. I can hear the rattle of the iron of his boots with each deliberate stomp. Closer. The door shaking on its hinges. I can see the rabbit's eyes in my mind. Jumpy, wild, bearing down at me. Then, I ordered you to show yourself. Just what do you think you're doing back here? Back there. Then followed by the sound of a rustled brush, wrenched fabric, a yelp. I stare at the door. Blink. What? My grip on Genzo's jacket loosens ever so slightly. I'm just doing my job. I do have a permit. So if you would please. A pause. More shifting noises. Then a thud of something, or someone presumably falls back to the ground. Very well. As much as it pains me, I'll allow you to stay. Try not to make yourself look so much of a suspicious brigand begging for an overnight stay in His Majesty's stalls next time. Something skids across the dirt. Then the rabbit's footsteps begin anew. Away, away, away. Another squawk. Back to it, you ingrates. That makes my eardrums bleed. And then the marching continues. And the marching resumes, crisp, sharp, and perfectly in time. Only after it completely fades to the distance do I let my shoulders fall. I release a breath I hadn't even realized I'd been holding. I shoot Genzo a look of confusion, then start hesitantly toward the door. My fingertips find the doorknob. I swallow. Then open it. Just for a moment, I have to squeeze my eyes shut because of the light. It's quite a bit brighter than the dim cottage lighting. But after a few harried blinks, I manage to squint just enough to see. My gaze goes instantly to the direction the previous altercation had taken place. A young man in a black vest stands there, muttering to himself, gaze flicking back and forth between a clipboard in one hand and a pocket watch in the other. Where'd he come from? He doesn't look especially greetable. In fact, between the scowl on his face and the 2-ton boulders beneath his eyes, he looks downright cankerous. Hello? I manage to eke out despite my sheer bewilderment. The man's head pops up and I see him size me up before flipping his gaze to the clipboard, then back at me. Ah, there you are. He stands up straight and snaps his pocket watch closed with the irate flick of his wrist. I expected you earlier. Come along then. I take a step back. Whoa. Wait a second here. Who even are you? At this point, Genzo makes it outside, and at the appearance of this new individual, he brings a hand on my shoulder. Who's this fucker? The man cocks his head, looks at Genzo, looks back at his clipboard. There's only supposed to be one of you. Genzo takes a step forward, middle finger pointed skyward. There's quickly gonna be none of you if you don't start talking, jackass. Pleasant fellow. The man blinks. I'm only doing as I've been told. Pick up one Iggy Maxwell from the cottage by the lane at. Another check of the clipboard. 5 on the hour. Pick him up and take him where? Right to the mistress, of course. Genzo looks at me. I look at Genzo. Mistress? I finally manage. Yes. She is expecting you. Wanted to make sure you made it safely and comfortably into town. I take a step forward, one hand on Genzo's shoulder in an effort to assuage his palpable resentment. He snorts, but seems to calm some. You mean Gidget? I ask, despite being fairly confident in the answer. The man cocks his head in the other direction this time. That would be correct. I guess, I glance around. I don't remember this. I don't remember any of this. I don't know if that's a bad thing or not. But a ride to Gidget seems good. Convenient. Better than stumbling around this place ourselves anyway. That sounds fine, yeah. We'll go. Iggy! Genzo hisses. You heard him. He's taking us to Gidget, which is where we're gonna go anyway, right? I throw a hand back in the direction the rabbit guards headed earlier. Better than taking our chances with the 7-foot rabbits anyway. Genzo looks like he wants to say something, but jerks away with a huff, wipes his nose. I guess. Move toward the man, who's now impatiently checking his watch again. I hold out my hand, what seems like a friendly gesture of hospitality. Iggy, this is Genzo. The man looks at my hand, looks at me. You may call me Cecil. He turns on his heels with a flick of his vest tails, hands shoved in his pockets, and starts down the path circling the cottage. This way. I simply watch him for a moment, blinking in silence, hands still outstretched, then jog to catch up. Genzo scuttles along behind, one hand on his cap. Both of us, however, are brought to an abrupt stop when we round the corner. I'm face to face with the grandest carriage we've ever seen. My jaw falls nearly to the floor. 4 enormous gilded wheels hold an aloft from the ground, and the carriage itself, like a smooth white teardrop, sets it amongst the nest of coiled green vines, almost like a pumpkin reigning over its patch. At the head of the carriage, 2 white stallions stamp and kick at the dirt impatiently, their manes like twin braided bouffants adoring their crowns. I feel like fucking Cinderella or something. Okay, we're gonna stop here for the night. And I hope everyone has a good night. Thank you for joining me. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.